Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Rafi Al-Hadi bin Rizal, and today I will be doing a presentation on personal protective equipment, also known as PPE. Feel free to pause the video to examine any of my points from the slide above. PPE is the acronym for Personal Protective Equipment, which is a general term used to define any form of equipment, clothing, or appliance that can be worn or held that will protect the user against safety or health risks at work. PPEs provide the user with protection against either a single hazard or multiple health and safety hazards. These personal protective equipments acts as a last frontier of the wearer from worksite hazards. Health and safety are undoubtedly the most important factor to consider in any type of work. However, there are always certain jobs and tasks that come with an element of risk that is unavoidable. This is where PPE is utilized, that is to remove or minimize the risk to complete the task at hand. The type of PPE used is selected based on the job scope and the specific intended protection. There are 10 common types of PPE, which are body protection, ear protection, overall protection, respiratory protective equipment, eye and face protection, UV ray protection, fall protection, hand and arm protection, foot protection, and also head protection. Let's look at them one by one. Head protection is known to be one of the most common PPE that is used in construction sites. Safety helmets are considered as one of, if not the most essential type of protection in construction sites. They protect against head injuries related to swinging or falling objects, striking the head against something, or accidental head contact with an electric hazard. Before using the equipment, hard hats need to be checked for any defects, such as dents, cracks, and other damages. Defected or damaged safety helmets should never be worn. Safety helmets come in various colors. The white safety helmet is used for engineers, supervisors, managers, and foremen. The red color is used for firefighters, the blue for electricians, carpenters, and other technical operators. The yellow safety helmet is used for laborers and earth-moving operators. The brown safety helmet is used for welders and workers with high heat application. The green safety helmet is used for safety officers, and the grey safety helmet is used for site visitors. Next, we move on to body protection, where we will focus on our apparel such as work pants, work shirts, or even safety vests. Workers should protect their full legs, full arms, and torso when working at a construction site. There are many possible minor injuries that could occur when doing construction works, such as cuts, scrapes, or burns. Therefore, workers should take precaution by wearing thick and flexible work pants and shirts. The apparel should fit closely and never be baggy, while allowing maximum mobility for the worker. It is common for these safety apparel to have reflective strips which allows the person wearing them to be seen even when working in a dark environment or at night. Next, we move on to ear protection, where we look at ear protection muffs or earplugs. Ear protection is important to protect workers from noise hazards at the construction site. Prolonged exposure towards loud noises or sudden extremely loud noise could temporarily or permanently damage a worker's hearing ability. Therefore, it is necessary for all workers to be provided with the correct type of hearing protection for the type of work they are conducting. Earplugs and earmuffs are the common types of ear protection used by workers. However, workers must ensure that the hearing protection that they are using does not restrict their ability to communicate among fellow workers for safety purposes. For overall protection, we will look at overalls, coveralls, bodysuits, or boiler suits, which are technically the same thing under different names. Coveralls is a one-piece suit that workers should wear when conducting construction activities. These coveralls are made from flame-resistant fabrics which could possibly prevent injuries caused by fire, flame, or hot liquid spill. Besides the obvious protection purposes, coveralls are also convenient in helping the workers do their job. The many pockets that are made all over the boiler suit could also be used to carry tools such as screwdrivers as well as smaller PPEs such as earplugs or safety goggles. There are two main types of apparatus used for respiratory protective equipment, which are respirator and breathing apparatus. Respirators are used to prevent inhalation of dust particles in hazardous atmospheres. Common dust particles that are within some areas of the construction site, such as silica, wood, and lead dust, could be the cause of serious damage or a contributing factor towards life-threatening diseases. Respirators could filter out these dust particles to ensure that the worker could carry out their work safely around hazardous areas. Breathing apparatus is considered an advanced version of respirators. Not only do they filter air, but this breathing apparatus is also attached to a compressed air vessel to provide breathable air to the user. Breathing apparatus is usually used when working with liquids, gases, or vapors with extreme particle concentrations. Up next, we will discuss on eye and face protection, which is the use of safety glasses, impact goggles, or face shields. Safety glasses provide minimal eye protection as it will only block coarse particles or sizable objects from damaging the eyes, whereas impact goggles are similar to safety glasses. However, they provide a better range for eye protection as they are worn with the ends attached to the face to cover the whole area around the eyes. The face shield is worn together with safety glasses or impact goggles to protect the face from splashes of high concentrated chemicals that could cause immediate skin damage upon touching the skin surface. Now we will discuss on a not so common type of PPE, which is for UV ray protection, where sunscreen is used. Construction workers spend most of their time working under direct sunlight. This prolonged working condition could be a factor of skin irritation or skin damage. Application of sunscreen would reduce the risk of skin damage due to the direct exposure of UV rays from the sun. The sun protection factor, otherwise known as SPF, is an important factor to consider when selecting the right sunscreen to use. The SPF measures the amount of protection from UV rays. Sunscreen with an SPF 30 rating protects against UV rays 30 times longer than unprotected skin before starting to turn red. The next PPE that we will discuss involves workers who are working at height, which is for fall protection. This is where the fall arrest system comes to use. The fall arrest system is the last line of defense for workers whose duties expose them to fall hazards. Body harness, lanyards, and anchor points are the three main components in the fall arrest system. The kind of harness needed varies depending on the type of work being done. It must be capable of supporting a person with a combined tool and body weight. Lanyards are a connector between the harness to the anchor point, whereas the anchor points should be capable of holding twice the anticipated load of a person free falling from height. Now we will discuss on hand and arm protection, where safety gloves or arm protection is used. Safety gloves are a typical protective equipment worn by workers to reduce the risk of hand injuries from snags, punctures, abrasions, and cuts. On the other hand, arm protection is used by workers who handle intense labor work. This equipment provides protection for either part of the arms or the whole of forearms or upper arm. Last but not least, we will discuss on foot protection PPE, which are safety boots or Wellington boots. Safety boots are known to be the most common type of safety footwear, which is essentially used all over the construction site. Safety boots are puncture-proof, act as an electrical insulator, and has protective toe caps to reduce or prevent any damage to the feet if anything falls onto the boots. On the other hand, Wellington boots are worn when working in wet conditions. They are made of rubber to ensure that the boots are waterproof and has slip-resistant soles to prevent accidents occurring during works due to slippery floor or ground surfaces. Now we will move on to the next part of my presentation, where we will look at the hazard environments at the construction site. In this part, we will make assessments, risk of exposure, and the necessary PPE to be used. There are 4 types of hazards to be discussed, which are working at height, conducting electrical works, handling extremely loud machines, and working with substances of extreme concentrations. First and foremost, we will be looking at conducting electrical works. Some construction activities involve electrical works such as installation of power generation, transformer, power distribution, and interior electrical facilities. For the potential hazards, electrical hazards such as shocks or blasts could occur due to carelessness or unforeseen errors in the electrical appliance. The recommended PPE to be used for these electrical works are safety gloves and safety boots that are made of materials that are electrical insulators, and also face helmet and face shield, which are worn for precaution from danger of head or face injury from electrical shock or burns due to contact with live parts from the flying objects resulting from an electrical arc, flash, or explosion. Next, we move on to working with substances of extreme concentrations. Certain construction activities require the worker to work with hazardous materials such as asbestos and lead. Asbestos is widely used as fireproofing material, whereas lead-based paint is used as coating to prevent rusting or corrosion. The potential hazards for this type of construction activity are: these substances of extreme concentrations would be dangerous to inhale as they could cause breathing difficulty or even damage the lungs, ultimately causing health complications or even death. Hazardous materials include lead dust, fumes, or vapors, as well as other toxic airborne materials or chemical spills. The recommended PPE to be used are respirators or breathing apparatus when working with hazardous materials, which will filter out the dangerous airborne particles and prevent inhalation of these toxic chemicals. And now we will move on to handling extremely loud machines. Some tools or machines used in construction produce extremely loud noises, such as a drill machine or powered saws. These construction equipments are commonly known to be essential to complete specific tasks during construction. Prolonged exposure to loud noise or sudden exposure to extremely loud noise could temporarily or permanently damage a worker's hearing ability. Without hearing protection, workers could experience reduced hearing sensitivity or even go deaf. The recommended PPE to be used are earplugs or earmuffs, which are commonly used by construction workers depending on the need and necessity of conducting specific tasks that include exposure to loud noises. The final hazard environment that we will be discussing for this presentation is working at height. Most constructions require workers to work on a high surface or platform to perform and complete specific tasks such as working on formworks or rooftops. For the potential hazard, workers conducting construction activities at heights above ground level are always at risk of falling, which could cause severe physical damage or even death. The recommended PPE to be used is the body harness of the fall arrest system, which is essential for workers who are working on a high platform. This fall arrest system would minimize the risk of fall damage if an accident occurs during construction, which could possibly save the life of a worker. In conclusion, personal protective equipments are essential for any type of construction works. The type of PPE used varies depending on the task assigned to the worker. It has been proven that utilizing PPEs could minimize the risk of accidents or injuries from occurring, and could also prevent any fatalities from occurring when performing construction works. Thank you for watching.